Say, man, you're in a privileged position right now. You're in a place to be. Matter of fact, a place to G.
The only one, Kenobi.
Yeah, bitch, we in the metaverse.
Could've bought a lamb truck, but I bought another eight figures just came in, just ain't no play, blah, 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 champ, you the great, ain't no way, blah, 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 champ, you the great. 100 NFTs and all my crypto is green. I'm watching Gary V on TV, what do you mean? She wear Gucci and Louis, but her favorite's Celine. My old school is old, but I keep that shit clean. I was sipping on some syrup and I almost hit the curb. Sipping on some syrup and I almost hit the curb. Sipping on some syrup and I almost hit the curb. I'm trying to hit him where it hurt. Dr. Bombay and Champ smoking on a board. Counting stars in the rape. Send me E for smiley face. Pray to God she beat the case like heavyweight boxer. MetaMask Foxer, Sandbox Voxel. Doggy avatars, 10,000, we going hard. It's slow riding down the boulevard. I'm just slow riding down the boulevard. I'm just slow riding down the boulevard. I was sipping on some syrup and I almost hit the curb. Sipping on some syrup and I almost hit the curb. Sipping on some syrup and I almost hit the curb. I'm trying to hit him where it hurt. Could've bought a lamb truck, but I bought another eight figures just came in. Just ain't no play, blah, 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 champ, you the great, ain't no way, blah, 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 champ, you the great.
Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, TKB, Campfire Stories, episode 5. We got a special guest today. I'm so excited to get into chatting with Julie tonight. It's going to be so fun. She's going to talk about all things crypto, NFTs, everything she's doing with the DJ and Divas, and just excited to have an awesome guest on tonight, bring you guys a fun, sweet episode of Campfire Banters. Everybody come gather around, get ready for a bunch of fun stories. We're going to try to educate you, make you laugh, have a good old time. I can't wait to get into it. I'm going to bring my guest up, see what she's doing tonight. She's hailing from down in California, I want to say. And I'm up here freezing my arse off up in Canada. But Julie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Yes, you are very far away from me, and it is very cold where you are.
Your screen is gone.
My screen's gone? Uh-oh.
It went blank.
Do you have me now?
I can hear my audio.
You can hear your audio.
It was fine. We'll dial her in.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me or see me?
I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
You can't see me. So let me go. That turned it off, and that turned it back on. Did that do anything?
No, you can't. He was 100%. I can see all the videos. Started the show, so I don't know what's.
Wow. Okay.
I just muted your mic because your audio is coming all the way back through. I don't know if a setting was changed on your end, Julie, but not a big deal. I'll give you a second to try to dial that in. As everybody, we're sorry about the audio feedback there. I'm not sure what happened. She was 100% on and rolling there, and then we went into the little intro. We were watching it and vibing it, and then I seen her screen go blank, and we're up there roll. But hey, this is Bushleague Media. You can't expect everything to go proper, right? That's how we roll around here. That's Bushleague. It's what it's all about. And we'll figure it out. We'll get her dialed in. I'm not sure what is happening on the back end there, though. I'll send her a chat. Just sending out a chat. Okay, I see she's popped down, so I'm guessing she's going to pop back up. But in the meantime, obviously, Julie, she's been doing some really cool stuff. Her and Deb have been getting into all kinds of stuff with the DJ and Divas, giving you guys like quick 10, 15-minute tidbits of what they're doing, always updating everybody on what's happening in the crypto world, what's happening in the crypto space. I'm going to bug them a little bit about the Bitcoin ETF one, and it razzed them a little bit. They were saying they didn't think it was going to go through, and it just so happened that it did. But there she is in all her glory. We're back. We're rolling. How's it going, dear?
Can you see me?
Absolutely. We are
hear
back.
me?
We're golden. We're golden.
Yay! Okay. I don't know what happened. I didn't press anything. Like I retweeted from my other phone. And then, yeah, you just had feedback and everything.
I was like, you were here, and obviously we were chatting before the show, and then we went in, played the intro, and then all of a sudden I see it go blank, and we popped out, and I'm like, wait a minute, what did I screw up? Like, this is Bushleague Media, so it's to be expected.
I just thought, you know what? I'll just leave the room and come back, and hopefully it didn't take too long. So no, it was actually good. Okay, so I'm happy everything is smooth now. Thank you for the introduction.
No,
so happy to be here.
Thank you for joining me. Obviously, I was saying that you're hailing from all the way down in, I want to say California, if I'm correct.
SoCal, yeah.
And I'm up here freezing away. But no, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me. I'm excited to have a good chat with you and talk about all things crypto, NFTs. I think I want to say we connected maybe early on when you kind of were starting your journey, and I was like, oh, this chick's like really cool, and she's outgoing, and it seems like she's coming out of the box, kind of like I'm trying to do, and I want to follow along with what you're doing. And then it's been a very a quick evolution. You've really got comfortable in front of the camera and stuff, and it's been awesome watching it. So thanks for being here.
It's funny. I actually, it evolved from Spaces originally because I made friends with some of the folks over at G Media and just kind of had fun hanging out in Spaces with them. And I wanted to interview, but I was kind of like shy in Spaces, and I would get weird about going up on stage and speaking, and like some people are very dominating in this conversations, and so like I would always just like struggle to find my spot to like get up and speak and cut people off and like find my style. And so I just really didn't jive in Spaces the way like I would think that I would, because I'm very outgoing. But then I interviewed with G Media, and they were like, we really want to push video content. And so I'm like, well, just tell me what you want and I'll do it. And so as soon as I interviewed, I was like, okay. And I just opened the YouTube channel, started live streaming with Deb. And so once she and I did our first live stream, it like sparked this little bug in me to just start making more videos. And so I'm up to like 25 on my YouTube channel now. But my goal is to hit the 300, because everybody says like 300 is that magic number to have like a good solid following on your YouTube. Nice. And so I learned all the analytics of Twitter. And so now I wanted to like jump into the YouTube side of that. So it's been interesting, like learning the whole new platform and all of that. I've connected with some people that have been successful on YouTube already, and I think that kind of helps. Yeah. And then, I don't know. I'm just like letting my passion drive the way now. It's like,
that's awesome. Like it's just been like a quick journey for you. I'm rolling through it, and getting to 300. That'll be a big feat for sure. That'll be. Really,
it is. I'm at 145 right now, I think. So I'm doing pretty good. You have to hit 500 to get monetized. So 500 is actually relatively low.
Like 500 clips or 500 videos?
500 subscribers.
Oh, okay, subscribers. Nice.
Subscribers. So I'm at 144.
I subscribed yesterday.
Yeah,
or whatever.
You did. Thank you.
Yeah, I got it.
But the watch hours is the hard part. You have to have a lot of watch hours. So, which you probably are trying to rack up watch hours on YouTube. You probably have a lot.
Same thing. We're just trying to be characters. I think I don't know if we have a lot of people viewing on YouTube, but like say when we go live with the sports show and stuff, I think we've been getting like 70, 100, 120 viewers, which is, I think pretty good. Because when I do like Spaces, I get maybe a couple people, and like going back to Spaces too, I think that's where it started for like a lot of us in the space, right? Because I was always like going and listening, trying to hear, trying to learn, trying to get educated. And then like, I knew that like media and something is a passion that I had. So I was like, same thing. I want to go up on these stages, talk to people, put my opinion in, usually try to contribute comedy. That's something that comes from me.
Yeah.
I think that's like a place that we all kind of had to fumble through, right? Like doing there was a lot of like going up on stage. Maybe you said a word. I don't know if the ladies get kicked off the stage like as dudes do, but like it's still hard to find your place, right? And because it's all, you can't see each other, you don't know who's going to try to speak over it. There's like a refined thing to Spaces, but it's been for sure. It's been a big one for me, like hanging out with like Leap and people like that, and getting the opportunity to like, I really cherish people like that who have allowed a person to have a voice where people are like, oh, this guy's actually has something smart to say, or he's actually funny or whatever. But it's cool to like find your crew, right? And
oh man. Oh, once it starts hitting too, it's like magic. Like now that we have like our crew, like I feel like every day we wake up with this like unstoppable attitude with like, let's go see what we can create today. Because we weren't doing anything like in that realm of creation before. So everything is just like new. And so it's like this whole new frontier we're all on, creating videos. Like I was never good at video editing. I'd tried it before in the past. I wasn't good at it. And it really just took me finding the right software. And then once I had the right software, it was like, boom, now the videos are like, that's my favorite part. Oh, I can't wait to get the footage back in my head. I already know we did this shot, we did this shot, we did this shot. And I'm going to like compose it like this, put this song over it. Oh, I just get so jacked up around it.
For anybody listening, I guess, what is your favorite? What have you found useful?
I've been using Splice. It's just an app on my phone.
Nice.
And so, yeah, it works really well because you can layer things in blocks. You can splice something right where you want it. And so if you want to have like rapid fire, like clips, boom, 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 you can get in and splice it really easily. And then, like layering music and just I find it really easy to move your clips around, to adjust things. If you do something wrong, it's not all messed up, Yeah,
I know a lot of stuff like say Instagram and stuff like it's the phone software is actually pretty advanced for like editing videos, and I should probably do more of it. I've been really trying to learn like Final Cut, like say the intro. I was learning that in Final Cut. Our sports show, I do that with like an Opus clip. So for anybody who like, it's kind of like I call it my dad hack. My buddy Trav showed it to me because it saves me a lot of time, right? I can go in and input like the segments I want to clip it, and then it'll pull it out and it'll frame us properly out of the show and stuff like that, and put the captions on, and it lowers my quality a bit, but at least it like, for now, for me, I'm like, I just want to get clips out, and hopefully I'm saying funny or entertaining enough stuff that even if my face is a little fuzzy.
Well, and I think there's a time and a place, right? Like you choose when you're like, okay, I'm okay with that going out with a lower quality. Like if you know that you want it to be a crisp, clear picture, you can put that content out because you know that you want it to be crisp and clear. But if you're just doing like, little YouTube shorts, like that's kind of something I need to try and get better at, because I'm making really good long content now, and my long content is getting a lot of views, whereas before it was like my short clips were getting 200-300 views, but now I've got my long content is getting up to like over 100 views a long form, which I'm focusing on that because of like the monetary on a long form video is different than the short form video, things like that. So it needs to be like a mix. And so anyway, and I'm trying to get back to making more short ones because I do bring more people into my channel, I find, from the short.
I know, say like I've been, because same thing for me, I started like really trying to focus on all that this year. I'm trying to figure out like YouTube. Like my friend was like, take a picture of your YouTube analytics like the first week and let's see where this is
how it grows.
It's like 2 views, 2 views, 2 views, 2 views, 4. And then, but same thing for me, it's the shorts, right? When I post the shorts, I'm getting like 400 or 500 views. And then my actual shows are getting like 3. So I think for anybody watching too, like, I think that is, like you said, it's a good way to bring people in, is from what I'm seeing on the back end of analytics. But two, I want to learn all of them. And maybe that's where it sucks for me, because I want to be Facebook, YouTube. I want to try to hit all of them.
You want to have all of it. Yeah.
And it's maybe too much, but I'm like, I don't want to leave any stone unturned. If I can put it out to everywhere, that would be awesome. And that's why I've been trying to like really commit more to the media side of things and try to find more time to do it. Like I say, and it's been like -50 up here. It's been crazy, crazy cold. So I've been out working with the guys and do it a little more the last few days. So I haven't been dialing in the media a little bit, but my goal this year is to just really buckle down and get all my channels sorted. And like, I want to be like, basically I won't be different content per channel, but my goal is to try to have, I wanted to start in January. I've done a bunch of it, but starting in February, rest of the year, I want to have like one, like under a minute clip every day. And I think that's a good goal to try to hit, is to, have a show a week and put a clip out every day. And I want to see what that does for me.
And that's exactly what my thoughts are. Is like, if you're there, you're making the content, like you're already meeting with me, there's little sound bites. And somebody actually told me, oh, when you're doing the interview, you should have a notepad. And when somebody has a really good take,
I
right
tried.
down if it's like 1450 in, like that's where you want to grab the clip. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. But that's where, like, when you find people that have had some experience in that and they can give you those tools that, like, something like I picked that up. I don't know. I'm like, what, barely in my 3rd month into this. Some people might not find that out for like a year down the road, you know? So I'm lucky to like meet people that have been in the space and know that stuff to be able to give me tips. So
yeah, and I always consciously think of it, and then I get in the conversation and I completely 100% forget. So then I'm like, I basically got to rewatch the whole thing
to remember. Yeah.
It's super good when you consciously could, like, you know, like you said, know those little things like that. And so one thing I really wanted to get into too is obviously you and Deb are doing the DJ and Divas. I've been checking that out. It's fun. Like, obviously a lot of my stuff's like hour-long content. Your guys, it's more like, I guess in essence, still long form, but it's about 10, 15 minute clips, most of it, right? It's all pretty fun, hard hitting. Like, I was like, even when I watched like the one where you guys are chatting about the Bitcoin ETF, and I'm going to razz you about that in a little bit. But I was like, oh, I kind of like how like I roll in with this like 2-minute intro. A lot of times it's because I'm trying to go live on Spaces at the same time. I just decided it's been like really stressing me out lately. So I'm going to not right now and just get this all done first. But normally I let that roll so that I can fire Spaces, do all my stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I just got to try to be a little more calmer, and maybe it'll work out better. If that makes sense. Like, cause I'm like, I'm just trying to do too much, but I liked your guys' is just a quick little hard, like, maybe 10-second intro, and then you guys get into it and go for a little stroll or whatever you do, sit down, and it's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's been evolving. I think that's kind of the hard thing is like, we don't have a home yet, right? We don't have like a home studio. I have a studio that I have access to here that I can record my own clips at and things like that. Deb can come here. It's an hour commute for her to get up here and an hour for me to get down there. So it's, when I've been going down there, we plan like a whole day, and we've been planning like interviews, and if we can, we want to like be looking at like in real life art is kind of like my goal. And so if I'm not like getting a really good in-depth interview or something I'm really excited about, I want to be like taking somebody on a journey, letting them see something. And so with the one where we were just taking a stroll, we didn't have anybody to interview that day. And like, we were going to do like our traditional podcast setting, and we'd been filming at this hotel. And I'd said to them like, hey, we're going to set up here. And they were like, no, you can't do that. You need to rent a room and like in one of their conference rooms. And so I'm like, well, how much is the conference room? And they're like, oh, well, it starts at $500 for the day. Oh, but it includes drinks and somebody will come help you. And I'm like, look, that's like my whole budget for the month. Like, I am not going to pay that. Like, you're crazy, right? Like, maybe when the big sponsorship money comes in, but if I'm paying that much, it's going to be my studio, not the freaking hotel. Yeah. So we just went walking out in front of that hotel and shot that one. And we kind of liked that like vloggy feel. Like after we ended it, we were like, we kind of like the way that felt. And so that was when we kind of went, well, maybe we shift more from like podcast to vlog style. Nice. So it's interesting, like how it's evolving and like how we feel about it as we're filming it and afterwards, and like the people that are viewing it. Like it's amazing just putting the content out there, the doors that it's opened, because like people don't know what you have and what you're about until you're putting yourself out there and marketing yourself. Yeah. And, you know, while I look at this as like, oh, it's an avenue for me to showcase this art and talk about crypto and all of these things I love, it's still putting myself out there in a way that like I have people coming to me and they're, you know, coming up with these opportunities and have these ideas, and they're, you know, helping to pull for me. And so it's really incredible to just, you know, put yourself out there in that way and see kind of how the universe responds. So
yeah, no, it's been fun like watching you guys. And obviously you guys can always switch it up, right? You can do inside, go for a wander, do whatever you're feeling. That's kind of cool thing. But like I'm envious. I'm like, I wish I had someone that would walk around and film me so I could just look all handsome and wander around. And do my thing.
No, it's really funny. Okay, so I have to tell you how we got our camera guy. And
Love
shout
it.
out to Chris. Chris is amazing. Chris is
I like Chris. I've connected with him a bit on Twitter.
Chris at Flyride, RYDE. If you need help with streaming, with audio, with video vlogging, I mean, he is like the man. I got so lucky when I found Chris. Like, he's amazing. Like, I pay him as much as I can pay him. And I told him, like, I will pay as more money comes, I will pay you more money. But like, please, I don't want to lose you. Like, he is just like he's such a little piece of gold.
He makes great content. Like, I know he does some streams that I tune into once in a while. He does some lives and stuff, and he's always been kind to me. So I enjoy watching him, and that's cool that you guys are working along with him. I know you also signed with would be Goxine Media.
Yes, yay, G Media. I love my G Media family. I do. We have. I'm just so excited for this next year and what we all have planned, and like everyone is taking their platforms and really stepping up their game this year, and like it's so fun to see like how everyone is growing and like encouraging each other and like forming these teams to like encourage and, you know, support one another. And I just feel like it's so needed, and it can be hard when you feel like you don't have support in the space. And, you know, I just really found like a supporting, loving team that I feel like they're family. Like, you know, we have our hard times where like, you know, we get mad at each other in the GC, and we still love each other anyway, because that's how families are. So yeah.
Nice. I love it. That's awesome. It's like same thing. I feel like I've found like little like cliques or niches of people that I like to, because like for me, like I'm not sure, and I'm not going to ask your age live on air, but like I'm mid-30s, right? And so I just really in the last few years, especially with having a little girl, was like I feel like I've worked really hard in my life and I've accomplished things, but maybe skipped out on chasing my dreams and the things I really wanted to do. Right. And now I got those little eyes watching me, and I'm like, I don't want her to just see dad chasing money, and like mad.
Right.
I want her to see me actually happy. And that's why it's like, I love talking sports. I've always wanted to do comedy stuff. I've always wanted to film snowboarding stuff and do content. Yeah. I just got to go for it if I wanted to. Otherwise,
hey, you know what? My Instagram is all snowboarding. It's like in the winter is all snowboarding, in the summer it's all hiking. Like those are like the only two videos that I watch. Like, and I
feel like that's one of the main reasons we connected early, because I feel like we
talked about snowboarding.
Do you have a Shredding Sassy NFT?
I don't have one. No. He told me, and I looked at him, and I just, for whatever reason, I haven't.
Well, you got to get one. They're the best. They're doing an event. Well, I think there's going to be 8 of us staying in a house down in Colorado, like around East Denver time.
Okay.
We're going to go down at shredding, like snowboarding for a couple of days, and probably film some content. We're just going to, I guess, 8 people in the house for a few days. But I'm probably going to go down to East Denver for that one. But they're doing some cool stuff, because I know, like, obviously I was like, oh, she likes crypto, she likes snowboarding, we're immediately going to be friends. And I think they're doing an event in Tahoe on 420, and I think that's what I was chatting with you about. I was like, well, let's
okay, it's for 420. Okay.
So if you're around, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, that's my birthday month, and I will be celebrating for the whole month. I will be celebrating for the whole month. Yeah, I really
we'll have to gather up the other half of the DJ Divas. I'll be meeting up with my co-host Trav. Maybe we'll have to go we'll link up, make some content, go snowboard, and it'd be fun. So maybe we'll get to.
Her and I have talked about doing like a DJ and Divas on the road, like doing like a road trip, and like because we do. Her and I, we have so much fun together. Like what you see is like it's so genuine. Like her and I, we linked up on Spaces. Like she saw Josh and I were friends, and she goes, "Oh, I'm hosting a space. You want to come? Like I'll have you on." And so her and I were just vibing, like instantly in the introduction, I found out she lived in LA. So I'm like, oh my God, no way. And so then, I mean, the rest was just history. Like
your guys' vibes are immaculate. So that's awesome. I'm glad
we get along. And she's like, just like me, like we're so easygoing. Like, you know, it takes a lot to kind of ruffle our feathers, or like somebody just has to really be disrespectful for us to feel like, you know, well, I didn't deserve that, you know, but her and I, for the most part, like, we don't have any issue. Like I say for the most part at all. We've never had an issue. Like it's just like we're so chill. We're both so laid back and like, you know, go with the flow, and you know, it's just great.
Trav, right? Like the guy who I do my sports show with. me and him just met through NFTs, through different projects, and eventually connecting even more through like Sassy. And then I was like wanting to do a show and doing my little spaces, and he same thing, was like, let's co-host. And we don't live as close, so we don't get to hang out and vibe as much, but I did go down there like a few weeks ago. We went down and I went to a Dallas Cowboys game, and then me and Trav went to the hockey game my favorite team was playing, and he has season tickets to the Dallas Stars there. So we went and went to a game and hung out. And actually, you know what, Local Weather, so it's one of, and I want to ask you about some NFTs, but Local Weather is one of an NFT project I got into a few years ago. Like Gary and AJV and Russ Wilson, they launched it through there's tokens to get access to different stuff. And I'm one of the biggest holders. I have like 50 or 60. So I got like 60 cases, but I'm in Canada, so they can't ship them to me, right? Because you can't ship like food and beverage and stuff like that over the border. So I ended up talking with them and getting them. They sent, and very generous of them, but they sent like a bunch of cases to some of my friends in California and some to some buddies in New York. I love that. And then I got like 50 cases sent to Trav. Like it was an ongoing joke about like, is his wife going to kill him when all this shows up? But yeah, so like all these cases showed up, and then I flew down there, hung out with him, and literally like I brought a suitcase with 3 empty suitcases in it. Like the people in the airport were probably like, what
that you could bring it back?
Yeah, so like I brought back 200 of these cans in the suitcase. Like I looked into all the rules. I'm like, hey, so can I do this? And it's like, they were like, I even called Air Candy, and they're like, yeah, as long as it's like under the weight, you can bring whatever you want, right? And so like Trav literally had to like help me bring these bags to the airport because we maxed them out. Like I had 3 70-pound bags. Like they're basically a pound a piece. But yeah, we basically brought like 200 of them back, and now I get to drink them once in a while. But it was kind of funny. Like that was our meeting. Was all this stuff to, and then came to his house and took it all.
It's so funny. I lived in Australia for 5 years in my like early to mid 20s. And there was one point where like my parents came to visit. There was a few times they sent me really weird shit, right? Like I just like I couldn't find tortillas over there. Like I was like, just send me tortillas, like Mission tortillas, and like good salsa. And like they sent me like I wanted Velveeta cheese because I wanted to make like this bean dip for Super Bowl, and like this the Velveeta bean dip. And so anyway, like, and they ended up customs took my freaking cheese because it was a dairy product.
Oh wait, that's the
but
worst.
It's like, it's funny to think about like all the weird stuff people send, and like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's just like because the only way I could get it was if I did it myself. So I just like literally trekked all these cans across the. I still haven't got the full video out, but we filmed a bunch of like content with it and stuff. So I want to get that out eventually. Speaking, we got a couple people tuning in, hanging out. Shouts to Winnow since he wants.
Oh yay, the DJ.
I had to wear it. That's
what I said.
It's from Alien Friends. So shouts to
Alien Friends.
Yeah, it's an Alien. Actually, I got another Alien Friend shirt on underneath too. Actually, but
you're stacked.
You know what? Like I bought like a couple, but like
I love it.
Last year they sent like a ton of stuff. I would just go to the mail and like there would just randomly be a package from Alien Friends. So like
that's amazing.
I got so many random like sweaters and shirts and stuff from them. But I was like, I usually always wear like some crypto or NFT merch because I guys got. Right. That's all I have is community and merch. I got no more money. It's all gone.
Yeah. Oh wait, hey, we're rich in JPEGs.
That's right. But I was like, I gotta wear the DJ and I'm on with the DJ and Diva tonight. So we're
somebody
rocking.
Actually, I think it was treehumper.eth posted an alien friend today. It was like, oh, I should give it away. It was like the cutest alien friend too. I wanted to be like, give it to me. I love alien friends.
Here, hold on. If I go out and zoom out, they're hanging all over the room. There's a couple chilling up there, a couple over there.
So is Mason still involved with the project? I tried
he's the artist. They're all kind of there. He's always been really behind the scenes. Mason's never been,
he's not on the Twitter account or anything.
No, like he has his own account and stuff. Like it's usually Sean or Monty or GLR or them guys running the account. Mason's always really been he's been the artist, he's been there, but he's never been the social media person. I don't think his
they
thing.
pop in our G Media room sometimes, and I'm always like wondering who it is behind the account, and I don't know just because
it's probably usually GLR or Sean or Monty. I could be wrong, but that's usually the guys that are rocking the Alien Friends account a lot of the time. And Winnow also.
They had such a great NFT project, and it was so innovative with their little spaceship, and like I loved everything about it. And like people give them such a hard time, and I'm like, Alien Friends was a great freaking project.
I love it because they never really like. So there's a lot of projects that have created hype, made speculation, raised prices over, and then not delivered it. Where I don't think they've ever done that. They've never really said, we're doing this.
Right.
We're like, it's always just been.
They've never made any promises. They've just delivered cool shit.
And they've delivered more than a lot of the people who made me freaking promises, right? Like, which is the part where it's like, you gotta love that because there's so many people that were like, buy this and you're gonna get involved with, you're gonna get involved in all.
Right back. My cat is scratching at the door.
I know. I thought like we were chatting before the show, or anybody that tuned in last week. But my kids, she's famous for just waking up and running in the middle of the show. So I was like, oh, maybe the kiddo's up. But
mine's just my cats. They were like scratching at the door, and then they were scratching at the other door, and now I'm like, okay, I just need to let them out.
Winnow also asked which one of us is going to teach her to snowboard. So we might have to.
Oh, I didn't know you knew how to snowboard.
We gotta get
I mean, yeah, I didn't know he did. Here, I'm gonna close this again, though. I'm not leaving you.
No worries. Also, my buddy Brent is hanging out, chilling in from Ottawa. What's going on, Brent? Nice to see you pop in. But yeah, are you a skier, snowboarder? Which one?
I'm a snowboarder. So I'll tell you the story. When I was 20 or 21, I was like, I am going to be a snowboarder. All the guys that snowboard are hot. Let's do this. And I went back down to Big 5. And I got a hot pink snowboard and a whole outfit, all white and
did it right out. Yeah.
I think I dropped like $3,000 head to toe, all new gear. And we head up to Mammoth, and I put a backpack on and loaded it with beer because that's what you need when you go snowboarding, right?
Yep.
And so like I promptly got off the lift, busted my ass with the weighted backpack, and like nearly broke my tailbone. And yeah, I basically like went down once and like was so destroyed, like wrecked. I carried the board crying to the lodge and just got hammered the rest of the day. And woke up the next day and I was so sore, but I had spent so much money on all that gear that I was like, I have to figure this out. And so I actually got really, really good. And I would go every winter for a couple of years until I moved to Australia. And then when I moved to Australia, I was like, okay, sell the equipment. There's no snow in Australia. Wrong. There is snow in Australia. I should have kept it. I should have taken it with me. So, I sold the gear, and then I did not get back into snowboarding until like 2020 because of COVID. So at this point, like it's been a long ass time since I've snowboarded. And I needed all new gear again. So this time I was smart and I didn't like go buy all brand new stuff. Like I bought like new clothes, but like, you know, I've kind of like got a used board and things like that. But the board that I have now is a lot bigger than the board I had before. And so like, I feel like because I had a smaller board, I was really good at maneuvering it. Like I could switch from my toe to my heel edge. Like I could maneuver it around really well. Like, but on this bigger board, I like struggle to maneuver it. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's that I'm scared or I'm going faster because it's a bigger board. Like, I feel like there's a few variables. Like, I'm definitely getting better.
You're definitely going to catch some like corners and edges for sure more when you're on it. If the board's a little bit too long for you, you're going to have trouble getting those.
I honestly, like, I do better with like, almost like the largest child size board. Like I think I had like a 129 before, and I think I'm at like a 137 or a 139 right now. So it's just a little long for me. I feel like I miss my old board. It was just like small and flimsy, and like I could freaking rock that thing.
No, I haven't been out in like, I guess probably almost a year now, but I'm hoping to get out a few times before I end up going.
You haven't snowboarded this year?
No, so like living in Saskatchewan, there's nowhere to, right? Like
I don't know about Saskatchewan.
there's like a little like valley hill here that you can go ride. Like it's not like the mountain or anything, but it hasn't like it never snowed here until like 4 days ago. It was the first time since it was the first time since 1920 we had a white Christmas or something. Like that. It was like a crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
So to go to the mountains, it's about a 5-hour trip for me, which I do it quite a bit. I usually just go stay for a week and hang out. But usually I don't get out a lot till the end of the season because and over the next few years I hope to get out a lot more. But I'm just usually really busy with work in winter. It's like my busiest time, which is the worst because my favorite thing to do is snowboard. Well, with my oil field company, we do a lot of like heating and stuff like that services. So when the whole world's frozen, we get pretty busy. So then usually once everything starts thawing out in like February, March, then I'm like running away as much as I can to go snowboard.
Okay. So I was going to ask what it is in oil and gas because my parents are in oil and gas and they've been in oil and gas my whole life. And so where I live is actually, the town is known for like ag and oil. It's like the two main.
Yeah, it's same thing as Saskatchewan here, basically.
Yeah.
In oil.
So, so I was going to ask, but I mean, here we have a moratorium on fracking. So there's not really a whole lot of pumping and extraction that goes on anymore. Like anything that happens is all like decommissioning, well abandonment.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of like well abandonments and stuff around here now. Just really forcing companies to get rid of their old stuff and not let it go to waste and get the taxpayers having to deal with it. But mostly I just do a lot of service work with companies, like going in and assessing what's wrong with their wells or doing like high temperature flushing and pressure testing and stuff like that. A lot of like oil around here makes a paraffin byproduct, like a wax byproduct. So I do a lot of I own some hot oilers, so I do a lot of like literally just heating crude oil and pumping it down to melt it and stuff like that. But then in winter everything's frozen, so like I am in high demand in winter because we're one of the few outfits that can go out and heat and steam and thaw stuff. And so like what we're doing now is literally all the oil wells are like the company I'm working with right now, every well they have is off because it's been 50 for 4 days. And the whole field is froze. So like we're literally going one by one and thawing the wells.
Thawing them off.
And putting them back rolling again now that the storm's over. So that's like, same thing. It's like we come in and thaw stuff with steam so that you can like hook vehicles up to it and then pump fluid to get it's an operation, but that's what you have to do to keep things rolling. That's cool that you know oil field stuff. I didn't know we were going to go down that avenue.
I had a job at Chevron right out of high school, and it wasn't for me. They gave me these well logs and binders, and they were like, and it's funny because I didn't end up that far from there. So like from there, I ended up going into construction. And then from construction, it was like new homes and like commercial buildings and things like that. And then from there, I ended up into renewables. So I was like, photovoltaic solar, I was a data analyst. Like literally, I'm like sitting here, measuring the kWh. And I'm like, turn down the job at Chevron because the oil well logs are so boring. Instead, I'm going to go sit over here in solar and look at those kWh logs. Makes no sense. I did the same job. Different freaking industry.
That's funny.
But my heart was in it. Like that. So the thing with solar is it was like an emerging industry, and there's a lot of really cool technology with solar. And so like a lot of like, custom things that you can program. There's API data pulls. There's so many different intuitive products that you can communicate with each other. And like I managed the plant management, like all of the solar fields that were online. I had like 300 sites across the state and ran a warehouse and the guys and all that. But yeah, it's just, I loved it. Like I loved it at the time and like going in and managing my whole portfolio online. But then once I got into blockchain, I was like, this is freaking old news. I'm out of here. Like solar's not going to be around forever. Like I do think solar is the best energy source because you can put solar somewhere and forget about it for 30 years. Like for the most part, there's no maintenance needed. So there's great use cases for solar. I don't understand why people are anti-solar, but I also don't understand why people are anti-oil, because I'm like a proponent of oil. Yeah, I mean, feel like a lot of our problems would be solved if we didn't import oil.
You look at like what was here the last few weeks, or like the last week. So like solar, I think it's super useful a lot of the time, but say through like a 3-4 day winter storm, like it's super useless. And then even like last week during the storm, like Alberta was issuing people like, keep your lights off, because they were like, our power grid is maxing out right now, because everybody was like pinning heaters.
Too much drop. Yeah.
Not to die, right? Yeah. But like going back to like, how I was saying before, just really wanted to like chase dreams and stuff a little bit now. For me, I got out of high school and went to the oil rigs being like, I'm going to make $100,000. And then
it's easy money. That's what my mom was like. Oh yeah, go to Chevron. You'll make lots of money.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna go. Like, I'll make $100,000. I'm gonna go snowboarding. And then I got there, and then I started making money. And then I was like, okay, well, this is pretty cool. And then kind of you stick around, right? And then every time that I went to leave, the company was like, no, like we want to give you a raise. And so it was hard. So I was like, oh, like literally 3 times I tried to leave, and every time they're like, no, we want to keep you. No, we want to keep you. And then all of a sudden I'm at a point where I'm like 23, 24, and there was this mentality that I like that it doesn't exist as much now. But when I grew up, it was really like you when you're 30, you like better have a house and a job, and it was like you were never really told like, go chase your dreams. It might actually work out.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
It was like, don't do that dumb stuff. It's not gonna, hockey won't take you anywhere. Playing games, and so I just ended up like sticking it up. I really liked the camaraderie of the rigs though. Like I had because I worked in like, it was one of the most hardest labor jobs in the planet, which like as a small dude, like at the time I was like one of the smallest dudes out there too. It just like, I think it like made me feel like I was accomplishing stuff, but just because of like, I had things go on as kids and stuff where you like it maybe earned for that confidence, right? And then over time, I just like, it's actually a very intelligent industry. Like you have to be smart, right? Because like you're dealing with the earth, like the earth
extracting fluid from like miles beneath the earth and then re-injecting it so that there's not serious implications to the geology. Like it is serious shit.
But like, I took a liking to it, and then like I had an opportunity to start this company that I have now about 12 years ago. I helped a friend like expand his company, and then he helped me out. So it's kind of a lucky opportunity, a lot of hard work, right place, right time, and then got that opportunity. But now like I still love it, and I love the guys working for me, and I enjoy it. But it's like, it's not where my heart is. And so like, I want to try something like this. And so again, I thank you for coming on. And
no problem.
It doesn't, we can't chase our dreams if there aren't people willing to partake in them. Right. So that's,
and you have, like you've been doing, the more you put yourself out there, the more people you make, the more connections, like if you're going to go to ETH Denver, I can't stress enough to people, like, there are NFT events near you, things that are somewhat local. Like people need to get involved. Like if you were really passionate about it, like get out there, because you will meet people, and it's like so different because we're all so busy with our lives, and like we feel like that our Twitter bubble is like everything in the space. And it's not. There's so many people out there that are like holding spaces that don't really post, that are very well connected, that will get you, and like really valuable information, and like will help you. And so that was kind of my thing in my last episode of DJ and Divas, especially going to like IRL Alpha. It's such a mix of people in LA that come together to. The podcast is filmed in front of a live studio. It's about 50-ish or so people that come, and it's like standing room only. Like it gets booked out. Like it's unbelievable how many people are going each week, and the more people that are finding out about it, the more people are wanting to show up because they see what's going on there. And it's like connections and teams are being built, and people are getting on whitelist and things you can't get if you're not at these events. And so if you aren't putting yourself out there, people just aren't going to know. You're not going to be
That's well said. Yeah. Well, and I know we've been like bantering for like 40 minutes, and I don't even know if I've asked you one question I wanted to ask. It's been a combo, but one thing I wanted to quiz you up, obviously, you guys in the DJ and Divas, you guys, you weren't confident on the Bitcoin ETF, eh? I like that conversation. It was good because I was kind of wondering too when the fake announcement and everything went on. I want to know what was going through your head when they faked this out the first day.
I honestly, I thought that. I thought it wasn't going to be approved this round. I really thought it was going to get pushed off until March. And then it was looking like we were getting closer and closer to the deadline, and more stuff started popping up like it was just going to not go.
Yeah.
And and then after the Twitter hack, after the X account got hacked for the SEC saying that it was approved, I thought, oh my gosh. And then to take it even further, here's something I didn't talk about on DJ and Divas that I've speculated on. The SEC account gets hacked, right? That's a really, really big deal.
Yeah, huge.
But the very next morning, Twitter removed the hexagon shape, which people all kind of said like, oh, it's so sad. We're all circles now. But no one really thought about it. And for me, I thought taking a step back, like Elon Musk must have felt that there was some sort of threat by the SEC hack that he was prompted to remove the Connect wallet feature. So I think that there is a correlation between that SEC hack and the fact that we are no longer hexagon shapes. And I think it's the fact that there was some threat, and they went, you know what? If this could happen to SEC and this could happen to Twitter corporate, then every Connect wallet could be scammed. So I think he did his part to protect everyone and remove that feature. But when that all happened, I really was like, this shit ain't getting approved. And then it did. And then I thought, oh, but you know what? I gave my takes. And that's the other weird thing.
I like you. You got to stand on your ground.
You got to. You have to, because you're going to say stuff and people are going to have receipts.
No, I like it. But it was a good, honest conversation. Like you both weren't like, this is for sure. It was just an honest debate. And I respected it. It was
like opinion. It couldn't. Now, I did say I felt like there'd be a ton of market manipulation once it got approved, and that I didn't like where it was going. And I do still stand on that. Like, I feel, there was so much overhype, and that the people that were buying leading up to the Bitcoin ETF were the people that were buying. Like, there were no other buyers. So once ETF approval hit, the buyers were done. Like it was done. So I think we're going to look at probably a pretty cold next 6 months.
I truly think, like, I hate that everybody's so excited about it. Like I'm not pumped that BlackRock is like full dabbling in Bitcoin. Like there's a part of me that is like, wasn't the whole idea of crypto to like escape the financial system? Do we not realize that they're the people that run the financial system we're trying to escape? And like, and everybody will be on this stance of like, but you can't control Bitcoin, right? It's mine. There's 21 million. There's all that. And I respect it, but I'm worried because the fact that they can invest in it with a spot ETF, right? That means that the general public will be basically investing in them like a stock. They already have 100 times more money than the stock market, but now they're going to get people's money to buy Bitcoin, whatever they want, and the people aren't going to own the
actual coins. Right.
So now over time they can stock. Like 1 year, 2 years, I'm not worried, but 10, 20, they can stockpile. Now what happens when cash goes away? And it seems it's
going away. They're forcing it to go away.
So now it's a way harder entry point for all of the general public into crypto. Why? Because when there is less supply, price go up. And when they can stockpile and hoard it, they're going to do that. And
they're going to price the retail traders out. Everyone will be priced out. And
I fear a world in 20 years where I got a little girl, right? Where I'm like, they could literally one day be like, okay, CBDC.
Yeah.
Now
we know CBDC is going to happen. Like they've already, the fact that the government deals with blockchain as much as they do, and they like don't acknowledge it and like allow us to trade it in the way that we want to, it's just unbelievable to me, because the government uses blockchain technology as like a secure source of data. Like they will, satellites and things like that in outer space, they're keeping that info stored on secure blockchains, and that's how the information is stored and sent from one spot to another. It's not
even people, when I try to explain like a simple form of crypto, I'm like, name like 3 banks that you know.
Mhm.
Those are blockchains, basically. Like they have their own.
Yes, exactly. And a new one launches every day. You can call it whatever you want. I mean, there's an indefinite amount that can launch. So it's it's the technology is there. I hate that now it is going to be manipulated in that way, but I do still feel like we're super early, and, people just need to stick to the fundamentals and just continue to DCA and know that they're going to continue playing their games. And, as long as we're DCAing and planning for the future, they're going to do what they're going to do, but we're going to be in better shape if we're actually holding the coins than
100%. Like I think that everybody who has it has a better chance. And the one thing that I don't like, that everybody's like, well, there's like the 100,000 of us that have it. We got to make our money. But it's like, there's millions of people in the world that are like impoverished because of these corporations. And like,
right.
I see so much suffering in the world that I hate it. Like I was hoping crypto would empower us and not become just fully this stock game, right? Where it's like, cool, we can make some money and we can have this. We can have it, and I can make sure that my daughter has a better chance than those people. And that's why I've been so involved in it, because I'm like, it's coming. Like, and we all have a better chance, I think, if we have crypto. But I'm just like worried about the time where like, and maybe it's just crazy conspiracy style, but like, there's a lockdown, and now they're like, hey, you can't spend money here. CBDC, they lock it out. And that's where they accumulate, because everybody's like, well, the Bitcoin don't spend it, or you can get loans against it. Well, when there's no cash and they're locking CBDC out to force you to live off one day spend, like, I just fear a world where 20 years from now
it's weird to think of where things can go, right? Because you even hear Elon Musk talking about money and like, what really is money? All it is a tender to keep track of hours worked. Like all it is just a receipt of your time spent and how somebody has rewarded you for that. And we've allotted a value to what that is. And so really at the end of the day, we all talk about like, why does it even cost money to live? Like at the end of the day, like it's like crazy that we have to pay money for these things, that it's like you have to pay money to breathe basically anymore because of so much taxation at this point.
At this point, like I think there was a point where it probably stopped people from like murdering each other and being pure Neanderthals, but it's gotten so greed filled, and it's just like it's gone in a way it was never intended to go, I think, and we're too far gone.
I mean, I think we all say like you will own nothing and be happy. I honestly, I think that's where they're trying to take it. And so the more, if you can keep that in mind and how you protect yourself and keep your assets, like that is the best way to stay ahead of the curve, because we don't really know what they're going to do, and they will do their manipulations, their scare tactics, their, lockdowns, they're all of their games,
they're always trying to shake us down. You just got to stay strong. When do you remember when or where like the first time you bought crypto? Like I know I thought about it for years before. Where was that?
It was Robinhood Dogecoin.
Nice. And what were you like, just sitting on the couch at home, or?
I was talking to a friend who, like, I'd always been very interested. Like, okay, I have a really long history with Bitcoin. I knew what Bitcoin was like almost when it first came out, because my brother was like a developer. I don't know the full extent to what he was doing on the web back in those days, but I know he had Linux and he was coding his own stuff, and he was in Bitcoin early. He passed away 9 years ago. So that tells you how long ago he was into Bitcoin. So
Sorry to hear.
But I did not understand how to buy it or where to buy it or any of that until much, much later. And that wasn't until I got on like Robinhood. But I'd had a friend who said, "Oh, I've just got into trading stocks." And I was like, "Oh," and all of a sudden in my head, I heard like the Robinhood commercial go off. And I was like, "Oh, well, I'll just right?" And so like I downloaded it and I bought some crypto and it just sat and I didn't do anything and it was like 2019.
Were you able to just straight buy it, or like, because I know like when I first bought it like on Binance, it was like this whole like sketchy situation where I had to like find someone like, because you couldn't just straight buy crypto.
Well, Binance was like, I downloaded Binance, but Binance didn't work. Like the Binance US, the whole weird.
It worked in Canada, but like, so you had to like find a person who was selling their USDC, and then you would like go into an exchange with them. And so like I would have to transfer thousands of dollars to a random human while Binance would hold their money until
that is very sketchy.
I was like, that is so much better now because
it is. People are so empowered. Right? Like I feel like people are so empowered. And if I can do anything with my platform, I want to get more normies on. And I'm trying to the whole premise of my channel initially was that I wanted to do education and bring people onto the channel. And now it's evolved more into like the education of like the artist and like what the businesses behind Web3 are. But I do have a Crypto 101 series. Like as soon as I started my channel, I went, oh my God, I'm talking about stuff. And I realized I've never explained any of this crap to you guys. And I started my Crypto 101 series. It's 3 episodes, about 10 minutes per episode. And it builds like what's a central exchange versus decentralized exchange, what's a hot wallet, cold wallet. And then the next episode goes in a little further. And then it goes all the way to like, what dApps are and things like that. So I try to like cover everything. If you watch it all, it's like 30 minutes from beginning to end. It's probably still way too much over most people's head. But it's supposed to be a tool that people can go to on the channel where it actually will just kind of like give them an overview of what everything is with just a couple of app names. Not a lot, because I don't want it to be too like, click here, do this, do that. It's like too much, right? I just want it like, here is what crypto is. Here's the basics.
They can find that on your YouTube?
Yep, that's on my YouTube. It's just the Crypto 101 series. And that actually did really well when the episodes got harder and harder as I went, and I was like writing all the content myself. And so, it's not really easy to write in depth and talk a lot about what a smart contract is. And, I do have experience with coding and things like that. So I was able to go into some of that. But I had to like write out my script and go over it a couple of times. Like, it's like I knew what it was, but I couldn't get it out off at the top of my head.
No, I love that, because like when I started, I was like I was gonna make MetaMask videos and stuff like that. And I'm sure like you probably see me ranting around it with the little tent and stuff. But like me and my little brother have been working on that 3D art for that project for like probably about 2 years, and we'll be releasing it later this year. And basically the whole idea came like when I really got into NFTs and started to get a good understanding of like how they could truly be used for business and like why there was a good consumer brand relationship and stuff like that. Right. And so like I have a little realty company. And so at one point, like during the bull market, I was like, what if we could raise capital for real estate and then just like reward people with free stays and trips and discounts and things like that. And then we started kind of designing a little bit of an idea for the realty company. And then I was like experiencing the space and learning and stuff. And I was like, well, geez, if you don't give someone something in like 2 months, you're not. Like they lose it. They just start fudding you and running all over you. And like nobody's going to realistically wait like 5, 6, 7 years for me to be fully delivering this, which is a realistic timeline. It's a business and that's what it takes. Right. So then I started chatting with some friends and different stuff. And the campsite idea started as like an evolution of like tent, house, island, like let's evolve this real estate thing. And then it more evolved into like so now my friend Joel, and that's who like the boxing company, my buddy Joel's a retired boxer, and he during COVID his gym got closed and he started doing online training, and he's live 5 days a week and stuff like that. And I started chatting with him about like, hey, what if we could do what we plan to do with like raising capital and growing these underlying businesses. But what if we could also give everybody a free fitness membership when they got it? Now they have access to your fitness thing. What if my friend Kelsey, you can get discounts to her online web hosting and stuff. And so the whole idea and premise is going to be able to like basically start a community. Like we're literally building from a freaking tent around a campfire and just like starting
that.
And like, I don't want to promise people that crazy thing, right? It's like, here's what I'm going to promise you. You can have some free fitness. We're going to have fantasy sports leagues you can play. And I was testing a bunch of tech this year because like, same thing. I want to bring people in. And so for me, like fantasy sports is a huge thing where like that DGen just crosses past perfectly. And I'm like, if we could have a fantasy sports platform where people can come in, they play fantasy sports for free, and they can win prizes from our partnered businesses. It's free promotional for our business, free playing for the people. They get prizes, and it's just this cross promotional tool. And we were testing it. And so like, it was really fun. Like this year we were testing it, and obviously like Alien Friends, Shredding Sassy, V Friends had a community team, VSP, a lot. There was like 10 communities that played along this year, and it was really fun to like test it out. We basically had every community played their own little fantasy league, but then we were all playing each other to see like who was the best community. And if anybody goes over to the website, there's some info and stuff about it there. But just like trying to find a way where now a fantasy sports person might come, want to play the fantasy sports, and then all of a sudden see like, well, how do I play? Oh, I need to have this tent token like in the Bushleague thing, or I need to have a Shredding Sassy, or I need to have, because the whole idea for me is I want to build a platform that other projects can come and use. Because the one thing I see in Web3 is like, for sure, every project spending the same first $100,000 on the same base tech. Like there's been $1 billion spent on everybody building the same thing. And then from there, you can build like these different layers on top of it of wherever you want to take your project, right? And I feel like there's so many projects that have cool things, and I want to like try to bring more people together, being like, we can truly grow this space and grow collectively if we aren't like trying to hoard it all to ourselves. If we collectively work, we will grow because we will have a bigger audience. More people will see the big audience. And it's like, that's what the campsite's kind of about. It's like, if I could ever get someone to help me market this properly and then bring all my ideas to life, it's just like, I want to bring people together and like, and do fun, cool things. And
I can definitely put you in touch with a couple of people I know, and maybe they can help you a little bit. Like, I definitely think I know at least one person that might, be able to help in some capacity. So
I would love any help at all. Cause I think the big thing is just like, for me right now, it's trying to get the media out, right? Like you are really trying to grow the media and have a presence. Because when I first was trying to like grow like Bushleague as an idea, nobody cared. Because like you said before, like, what if they don't know me? They have to know you as a person and grow as a person, and they have to care about the person behind the project. And so it's like, I want to get my face out there talking about the things I like, crypto, sports, whatever topic. I mean, oil, we're talking about whatever, right? I just want to get out there and chat, and it's cool to see you and Dev doing that all the time. And just, it's really fun seeing you just get out there. Like I feel like you've grown like tenfold in the last.
Oh my gosh, it's just been so fun. I can't even put it into.
I was like, I'm lucky I asked her before she blew up. I might not have been locked in such a cool guest.
I know. Yeah, no, she would totally come on too. She's so good. She loves
I meant you. I said you got signed. I'm like, oh, good thing I asked her before she went big time. She wouldn't be coming on and hanging out with me at all.
I do know what's so funny is I did say yes beforehand, and then after I committed, I was like, oh, I might be a little busy because I was filming. I told you originally I was filming on Tuesdays, and so Tuesdays were my days down there. We only switched to Thursday because Chris is down there with his camera on Thursday. Oh, nice. So otherwise we would still be streaming on Tuesday, and I would have had to probably cancel on you. So it all worked out.
No, that's awesome. I was like, oh, sweet, she's still coming.
Yeah. No, that's great. We have such a great time together. And so coming up, we have some really great interviews. I have a studio I think we're going to on this Thursday. and it's a gallery, like mixed use art studio. It's also designed to help like inner city kids in like the south side of Los Angeles. So it's a nonprofit. It's very heavy into the African heritage. And so anyway, I'm trying to schedule a time to go meet with them and tour with the founder and get like the whole background story. I thought it would be great for like Africa or Black History Month coming up in February. And so anyway, I've looked at that. And they also have a digital art displayed there as well, but they just have like such a neat mix of stuff. And so looking at like stuff like that. And then I also have an interview with Amber Vittoria. I've been retweeting a lot of her stuff. She does those color ribbons. She's got a lot of product. She is just an absolute rock star in the space that does not get enough recognition, in my opinion. And I feel like if people didn't know who she was before, they're going to know who she is this year, because she's got some really cool stuff cooking, and I'm super excited to get to interview with her. She had a mint last week and it sold out in like, I don't know, 30 seconds and went straight to like 0.4 ETH.
I could only dream of
yeah, she I think she's sitting at like 0.2 right now. But her art, it's called Vibes, and they're these really cool, like pixelated, bright colored little, they've got these little like noun type eyes, the little black and white pixel eyes. They're so cute. Anyway, it's so in line with all of her other stuff. She has like 200,000 followers on Instagram, and she makes really cool reels. She has a partnership with Cotton On. And she's been going to the Cotton On window storefronts in the mall and doing her art in the windows.
Oh, nice.
And like, how freaking cool is that? Like, genuinely just loves what she does, right? Like, so super pumped on that interview too. So
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for all that. Well, and you guys which day does DJ and Divas drop on?
DJ and Divas is every Thursday. Well, we record on Thursday, so we're trying to get back to where we do a live stream on Thursday and also our regular footage. But yeah, we film on Thursdays. So I am going to try and get us back on a live stream this week, because we love interacting with people. And now that we have a camera guy, we don't get to interact with our people anymore. And we kind of miss that. That was like one of the things that we really loved. And Wino, if he's still here, Wino, I appreciate you. He's like, I will come to all your live streams.
Wino, so he said, what made you switch from a regular job to crypto? That was a question that Wino asked.
Oh yeah. It was just my heart felt, my heart felt the draw. Like I felt like solar wasn't it anymore. And my brother loved Bitcoin. And I just felt like, it's like what my brother would be into NFTs and ordinals and all this stuff if he was still alive. So I feel almost like it's like my soul's mission to end up in this space. So yeah, nice. I just felt it, and like I haven't looked back. So I don't know. I need sponsors though. So if you're out there and anybody wants to sponsor me, I'm looking for sponsors.
I'm pretty sure like there's a clip in my intro that said like, this is where we would advertise the sponsors.
Yes, your name here. Your name here.
That's awesome. And two, I don't know if you've ever noticed any of the little coins or anything I had spinning around by your head randomly here and there throughout the show. But
is that a POAP? Is that a POAP?
It's a little, so I was telling you about like our little campsite drop or whatever. And I'm going to me and my brother made these coin animations, and we have about 400 or 500 different backgrounds made up of like the story we're going to be telling for the future of the project. And we decided to drop it as a free drop for like all our early.
Cool. So all the holders.
You should definitely send me your ETH address and I'll get you signed up for it, because it's going to be, when we do the like campsite drop, we're going to have this. I'm trying to do something a little innovative where like you can pick from a different machine when you mint, and almost like gamble, like you have a better chance of rarities from this or that. But when you spend more money, it's offset by like more products from something.
Right.
Like, so
cool.
Say you mint from the more expensive one.
So you it's almost like a tiered reward system.
Yeah, say a random price. Let's say if you mint for $50, you got a 10% chance at a rare, and we'll give you a 1 month free fitness membership to offset it. And they all come with fantasy sports and blah blah. Say you spend $100. Well, now you got a 20% chance at a rare, but we'll give you a 2 month fitness membership. So if you don't get it, you still get all your value. And then we'll have like a machine where say you spend $250, you guaranteed get a rare, and we'll give you a 1 year fitness
Oh,
membership.
that's cool.
And so I want to
That's
try
cool.
like some different stuff where like
Yeah.
where you get that degen gamble, but you don't lose your money. You
Right.
literally get the value back, right? And,
I like
and so I want to make sure you get one of those coins because when we
Yay,
got the
okay.
actual
I'm
project,
excited. Yeah, I'll send you my address.
we had like an animation where we put the coin in to get it. And then it's been taking us so long to do this, and we're still like 6 months from done. Like my little brother he's a really good hobby animator. He's autistic and he's been doing it for like 15 years. And so I also like, I want to unlock his talent to the world. Like he's so good at what he does, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I can't keep people waiting 6 more months because our football league just wrapped up. So people are like expecting the prizes and I don't have the product yet. So I'm going to give everybody these coins as like a holdover. And
that's smart.
We'll get to use them for free when we do it. And it'll be like a really cool memento of like where it started. And so I want to make sure you get one too, because anybody that's come on the show or anything, I want to make sure you guys get one. Because then hopefully when I pull this all off, you'll be able to come for free. Because the whole idea is like join at the tent. You can come to the house, the island, the rocket for free.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen like the little tent. I have like our company logo on it. And that's kind of like
I have, yeah.
That's kind of what it's all about, is like the 4 stages of where I want to build the product is like really small, like community. Let's see if it works. Let's grow. Let's attach some stuff and like scale towards it. Because everybody's like, I think a lot of stuff's backwards where people are like, you buy this first token and it should be worth so much because it's the first. And I almost feel opposite. I feel like the first one should be the cheapest, and you should make a path where those people get to come along for free if they help you grow it and you raise capital, and the next ones are more valuable. And that's the way I've always envisioned it, is like it should go the other way, and the people should get to come on a journey for you. Otherwise, you're just playing this chase paper up and down.
Totally agree.
Right? But
totally agree. Yeah, I love NFT projects that are more like intuitive. One that I've been holding for a really long time now is the Bats Key project. My keyboard. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I don't know. I know the crypto bats, but I don't know that.
His name is Bats, and he's I'll have to send you his profile, but the project is called My Keyboard, and it's been unrevealed, and you're supposed to hold 4 of them, and however many you hold, you can burn to redeem what the reveal is going to be. But I've held this for like 6 months, having the alpha on, knowing that this guy's project is going to just absolutely skyrocket when people realize that this is a deflationary project. You know, there's only 6,420, and it's 4 to redeem 1 of like the Grail. So it's a pretty good deflationary project that we don't even really know when it's launching yet, but it should be very, very soon. And that's one that I've been like the most excited about. And I actually need to probably buy one more. This morning I had that epiphany of I need one more.
DJ is kicking in.
I need one more because I need the 1 to flip and then the 4 to redeem, right? I need one to make money off of now, and then I need the 4 to redeem so I can get my Grail. So
I like it. No, that's cool. I like projects that do stuff like that. I know kind of what we were hoping to do is like, say like the tent collection, let's say it's 2,000, and then it might be bigger, smaller, who knows, but let's say it's 2,000. The house is 4, this one. And then in the end, I want everybody to have to burn the 4 products to like make their own scene in essence. And like whatever you burn would become like what appears. And depending if you had like, say through the 4 tiers, you collected like specifically campsites with like sports icons. Well, you're probably going to get yours will turn into something with the most sports redemption.
That's really cool.
Or if you collected all fitness icons, you'll probably get, or maybe you like, I want to, that's why I'm like
unlockable content almost.
Yeah. Then that's why I'm like, I want to do this in phases where that goal is actually like 6 to 8 years away. Cause I cannot pull it off overnight. Like so many people promise. And it's like,
and I think people now I feel like are a lot more understanding. Like at first, it was such like the wild, wild west for NFTs.
Well, it's crazy.
It was just bananas, right? Like we didn't even know what we wanted.
No.
So it's like, I feel like people are a lot more, relaxed now. They don't need that like quick flip, but we don't know what new money's going to do when new money gets back, because new money isn't here. It's like all of us old OGs, or like, you know, people that are learning from OGs and don't have that mentality. And so, but once all of a sudden there's going to be like a big swath of new people, it's like, oh, it's going to be like the Wild West again.
I love it. Well, I know we're going to take off here pretty quick. We were going to maybe cut her at 60. I think we've pushed her a little over. But I know before we roll out, we're talking NFTs. I got a quick little game I want to play with you.
Okay.
And just maybe a little fun something, get you to guess a project perhaps if you're into it.
Okay. Let's do it.
Name that NFT.
Can't make my mind up, fuck choosing, cause I want it all. Some of them wanna play, me and mine wanna ball. I had a vision that my MetaMask had 7-0.
Love it. All right, well, here it is. We're gonna see if you can guess it. This project, I want to say maybe released a couple years ago. I think it was pretty big at one point, and we'll see if you know the story of it or not.
Okay.
It's the first one I ever bought of them.
Oh gosh.
You know that cute little fella?
I've never even seen this before in my life.
No. Okay, I was like, I wonder that might have been around. So that's an act.
He looks like he's gonna bonk me. Why is he gonna bonk me?
He's got his little baseball bat. So that's Mika Johnson's project, AccuTires, and he's an ex MLB baseball player. And so
I
and it was like
he's gonna bonk me.
It's kind of funny how he's standing there, like ready to kind of hit you on the screen.
He's gonna club me over the head.
He's a very kind. Accu's a gentle soul. He's a top dude, but I'll still give you the coin anyways. You still win.
I still win anyway. Yeah, I've never seen this project.
No, that's cute. AccuTires is a really cool project. Mika, like I say, he's an ex MLB player, and they would have launched like during the hype, and it was actually a really I felt really bad for him. So when they minted that project, they raised like 34 million in capital. And that was one of the first times they had something in the contract. And I'm not, it's been a couple of years, so I'm not as fully dialed in, but the funds ended up getting locked in the contract because it like didn't mint out in a certain time frame or something. And they locked up, like there's $34 million locked up in a contract they can never access ever. But no, he's been doing really good with the project. Like he's doing stuff with Disney and things like that. And I own commercial rights to one of them, and we're going to be integrating it into the project a little bit too.
And so just because he fumbled the contract and can't get access to it, that money's just locked up in there?
Yeah, like it was one of those things where like, you know, the whole space learned from it, right? Like these little gimmicks or whatever, like don't put, but yeah, so like basically, you know, that's a big hit, right? Like
that's a huge hit. Man,
it was one of the biggest capital raises like at the time, and
especially back then. Yeah, wow.
You know, it sucked, but Mick is a really good dude, and like the whole story of Accu's about like a young African kid like who asks his mom if he can become an astronaut, and it is like and so you can become anything
you want. I love that. What a great story.
Really cool story. But if you ever check them out, it's pretty fun. But I was like, I feel like she probably maybe was around like 2 years ago.
I mean, I bought my first NFT in August, or was it September?
I'll throw you a bone next time.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't want to make. I'm like, damn. I was hoping she'd guess it. I didn't want to make her look at it. No.
It's okay. It's okay. There's so many projects.
There's a million. Like I was actually saying that the other day because I was like in a space with someone, and a person asked me like, "Oh, do you have this NFT?" And I was like, "No." And then someone was like laughing, and I'm like, and it was like, there's no way everybody can know all these freaking things. Just be happy that we're like vibing.
No, there were so many. Oh my gosh. I've got like, my wallet still has so many weird little projects in it. And, you know, I will degen out like, okay, so I will tell you really quick. My biggest degen play was on feet pics. I must have flipped 12 sets of freaking feet. Like no joke. Like I was so proud of how much money I made on feet pics. Like I was even posting about it on my Facebook. Like
nice.
My normie friends got to hear about all the money I made on feet pics.
That one is like that. After like that was one where I was like, how did I not know that was for sure going to be?
It was so written in. Like it was yes. It was, I knew it though. It was one of those weird plays. And okay, this is one of those things that I know, like bull vibes. Whenever a new project comes out, like, right, Feet Pics came out. But then there was like all the other body parts that came out after it. Whenever there's a lot of those copycat projects, that original project usually is going to do pretty well. And that was something that I learned pretty early on, is if there's a new project of something and derivatives start popping up, you can play the field on that OG project, like even if it's not a long-term play, because as these other derivatives are spawning, it's spawning because there's a demand there and people are trying to cash grab off of it. And so as long as those are there, there's still money to be made on the play.
One thing, and I'm not the best trader. You look at my wallet, my stats are probably in the red big time. But one thing I've learned is like by the third derivative, though, you got to stop. The fourth one.
yes. No, I mean,
because then it gets, there's a point where it's like, nope, it's been wore out now.
Yeah, usually like the first, maybe second derivative will be okay, but anything beyond but if there's ever a derivative of something popping up, usually it's a time to go, play with some.
That was like Steamboat Willie when New Year flipped over, right? I was like, the first one came, the second one came, and then the third, I'm like, and I was like, I'm going to play the third one a little bit. And I said, it
was done by then.
And I remembered, I was like, frick, why'd I do it? I knew better than that.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny.
Right. So. Well, I've really enjoyed the chat with you today, Julie. It's been awesome. And I appreciate your time and you being here and all your fun knowledge. We were probably a little more just banter today, but if anybody ever tunes into your show, like, you are always dropping straight knowledge. So I advise anybody to go over and check out what you and Deb are doing and just what you're doing all the time. But it's all great content and I love watching it. It's educational to me too. So I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Check me out on YouTube at Julie Kennis.
I'll link it in the YouTube. Yeah. Normally I have a little QR code, but like we were discussing before the show, I was running a little late, freezing my bag off outside today, so I didn't quite get the QR codes with that.
That's okay. No, I had a great chat with you, and it was nice to informally meet you in this way. And
we're one step closer to almost meeting in person. We're
Tahoe in April.
Heck yeah, no, that'd be awesome if we can pull that off. Like I know for sure I'm going to go down in March to Denver, and Tahoe. I'm really considering it, but we'll stay in touch and maybe it'll be something we can make happen.
Because I might do East Denver also, so let me know what your plans are for that.
Cool,
that's like a 50-50 for me right now.
Cool. Well, no, that'd be fun, and I'd look forward to your show in a couple of days, and I can't wait to. I'm sure I'll be chatting with you in the timeline, and maybe we'll check back in 6 months or a year and do it again and see how we're both doing.
I love it. Great. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Cool. Well, thank you, everybody who's tuned in. I want to give a big thank you to Julie for being here today. That was an awesome conversation. We went over everything from, crypto to NFTs, oil patch. We even got into the oil patch. So that was pretty awesome. But no, she's really awesome. The content she's making is really, really fun. So I ask you all, please go check that out. Go see what she's doing with DJ and Divas over at Goxstein Media. They got all kinds of cool stuff going on. Obviously for us, we're going to have our free mint coming up in a little bit. So for anybody who wants to get in on that, head over to the website or hop in on our Discord. You'll be able to go check out, grab one of these coins. My brother's whipped up a little animation or two. We're going to be dropping some free coins to anybody who has been supporting us from the start. And that's going to give free access to our project in the future. So just want to give a big shout to anybody who's been supporting us at Bushleague Media and anybody who's been along for the ride so far. And again, a big, huge shouts to Julie for her time today. I really, really appreciate having such a kind guest and someone willing to put in the time live with me. So thank you all. I appreciate you all being here. And I'm going to maybe fire up a little tune if I can get her dipping. And I'm going to catch you guys next time. Stay Bushleague.
From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. Tell them never question, dog, I'm sitting ghost status. Eating chicken with my gin, smoking on some cabbage. Used to pedal on that swing with my fro out. Whole lot of bunnies flocking to me when I roll out. I've been rolling on dubs, coin collecting, keep it sonic blue. Blue rags and house shoes, they know how the dog do. Skinny nigga, heavy pockets, the West OG. Can't a nigga cross the globe say they don't know me. Been applying pressure from 8 to 24 like Kobe. Mr. Hall of Fame used to bend the corners with strollies. Had to lay the blueprint, they rolled out the carpet. Anything I